Pinterest ads versus Facebook ads. You have an advertising budget, but where do you spend it? That is the question we are going to dive into today. And this actually comes from an older video that I published. I recently started getting some more DMs on Instagram about the differences between the two ad platforms. And I thought I would do sort of an updated video and more best practices or the differences between the two and how to choose what's right for you. So as we dive into this, my name is Heather. I am a Pinterest marketing strategist. I've been doing this for 7 years. I've been running Pinterest ads heavily since 2019, although I did start running Pinterest ads for myself in 2018. I've ran ads for clients on Pinterest in about every niche, including webinar funnels, lead generation ads, all the way over to e-commerce selling physical products that people actually have to ship out of their homes. So I've been around the block. Now, caveat, I've only ever ran Facebook ads for myself. So I just want you to be aware of that as I'm talking about the differences in the platforms. This is very much not I am an expert in Facebook ads, but I have ran my own ads and I've had some success and I've had some losses. So what's the difference between the two? Well, today's video, while the last one, which I will try to remember to put in the description down below, was the difference in targeting and like really nitty-gritty details in the differences between the two platforms, I'm really going to focus on the advantages and disadvantages of Facebook and Pinterest for advertising in this video. The other video is still very accurate. I do encourage you to watch it after this one. So let's start at the top with the advantages of Facebook for advertising. One of the big advantages of Facebook for ads is the amount of people available to advertise to. They have like 2.9 billion people on the platform, but not all of those are available to advertise to. In fact, the majority of people in China take them out, can't advertise to them. It's blocked. The amount of people recently in Russia that have been blocked from seeing Facebook is also removed from that number. And if we go a step further and we take out anyone on the platform under the age to be advertised to, that only leaves you roughly 47% of that 2.9 billion population on Facebook. I say population because that is a really large number considering we have like 9 billion people on the planet. So like a third of them are on Facebook. That's insane. So just the sheer amount of people on Facebook to advertise to, even if you only get to advertise to 47% of 2.9 billion people, it's still a lot of damn people, okay? So a lot of options, a lot of people to target. Advantage number 2 is that you get a whole second platform with over 1.5 billion people to advertise to as well. Now, again, obviously part of that 1.5 billion are not in countries where you can advertise to them or they are underage, so you can't advertise to all of them. But you get Instagram right inside your Facebook ads manager, which makes Facebook a multi-platform advertising situation, so you kind of get double bang for your buck. I'm loving it. I am. I really love that option to be able to advertise to both platforms inside one ads manager with one ads budget. So that's the first 2 advantages to advertising on a platform like Facebook. The third advantage to advertising on this platform is the sheer amount of options when it comes to targeting. Targeting on Facebook used to be even more vast, and I'm not going to say that I'm at all hurt over the fact that Apple has changed their guidelines and their policies and allowed people like me to turn off tracking and not allow my data to be shared. I love that as a consumer. Obviously, as a business owner, it does hurt a little bit knowing that it used to be a lot easier to essentially take advantage of people's information through a platform like Facebook and advertise to them based on all of those interests, based on their household income, based on jobs, based on job titles, pages they liked, etc. That is one advantage to Facebook over a platform like Pinterest, is the sheer amount of targeting options available to us, even with those being decreased though over the years. So if you want to know all of the targeting options between the two platforms or just available to you on Facebook, you might want to go head on over and watch the other Pinterest versus Facebook ads YouTube video or read that blog post. The next advantage to advertising on a platform like Facebook is the fact that people will see ads and they will buy on the fly. Literally, like instantaneous purchase. They see something, they sign up. They see something, they buy it. That is definitely an advantage to Facebook if you have a product or an offer where people don't need to think about it a whole lot. However, a lot of the brands that I work with do not have offers, at least not a ton of offers that are impulse in that way. They're in industries where people need to think, they need to plan, they need to pin, they need to save, they need to research. But we'll get to Pinterest ads in just a moment. Now, let's talk about some of the disadvantages to Facebook ads. One of the disadvantages to Facebook ads is actually the time in which it takes to get your ad approved. Sometimes it could be days, and I don't understand why. I don't know if there's actual people approving ads over there anymore, or now, I don't really know. However, the approval timeline, it's long. The second disadvantage to me as a business owner, because I don't like doing this thing, to running ads on this platform is actually writing really compelling copy. I'm not a copywriter. I do not like writing compelling copy. I don't like writing sales pages. I don't like it. I just don't like it. So that's definitely a disadvantage to me. That might be an advantage to you though. So depending on if you are really good at writing persuasion copy, that might be something that's right in your wheelhouse and you can bump that up to the advantages. But for me, don't like it. I see it as a big disadvantage. The third disadvantage is the confusion when building ads inside of Facebook. I don't understand why it's so freaking confusing. I feel like I get in there, I just don't know, I feel lost. And I feel like I've just walked into a store that maybe isn't appropriate for me. I feel like I'm in the dark, wandering around confused, getting beaten on the side of the head. I don't know why it's so damn confusing, but it is. And that's yet another, to me, maybe to you, you like it, disadvantage to this platform. One of the largest disadvantages to Facebook ads is when you turn an ad off, it's gone forever. It's just gone. I don't really know that there is a way, even if someone were to save your ad to their profile or to their lists or collections or however they save things, that they can actually get back to it. So definitely once you turn an ad off, it's gone. There's no more organic goodness that comes with that piece of content, and it is strictly a pay-to-play situation. And last but not least, the almost constant attention that Facebook ads require from you as a business owner, you have to be checking them every day. You need to be checking them sometimes multiple times a day, depending on how much money you've put behind them. Now, I will say as a business owner that runs ads anywhere from $10 to $50 a day, I generally will only check my Facebook ads once a day, maybe twice a day if I'm lucky. Because I run a lower budget per day, I don't feel like I'm going to lose a ton of money if I forget to look at them once, in the week. So in general, though, Facebook ads do require a lot of attention. They can fatigue really fast. They can fail really fast. They can take off really fast. And with that, you definitely need to keep a really close eye on them. All right, so let's actually chat about some of my most recent success or just experiences on Facebook ads. So in the fall, I launched a new product called the Pinterest Roadmap. And this was pretty much a complete rewrite of my organic Pinterest course inside of my membership. However, I wanted to sell this as a standalone offer in order to funnel people into my membership long term. So I rewrote this product, I did my thing, I hired someone to help me with some Facebook ads, and we ran my ads for about, I want to say not quite 2 months, but right around 2 months. We started sometime in October, and then we ran them straight through to the end of November. Because the Facebook Ads Manager does not tell you when ads were started and stopped, like you can see them in Pinterest, and if there is a way, someone please tell me, but I'm guessing that these ads ran somewhere between 5 to 8 weeks. I spent a total of $468.49 on my ads. The entire goal of this campaign was strictly for lead gen. I only wanted to get people on my email list in order to do an email-based launch during Black Friday. I got 183 leads at a total cost of $2.56. That's actually really good. It's very cheap. Some of my ad campaigns were actually getting leads for close to $1, and others were getting leads for close to $2.50, which is where the combined average comes in at $2.56. Now, I can't calculate my ROAS on Facebook. It doesn't actually tell you ROAS anymore. I don't know why. It's very annoying, but there's no blended ROAS between all my campaigns, and I only actually got one purchase directly from an ad. But the majority of all of these were strictly for lead gen, for my Pinterest strategy guide, get people onto my email list, get people opening my emails. That way, when it came time for launch for the roadmap, they were then getting those emails as well. I did want to mention that my cost per click on Facebook is $1.59 during this time frame. So this is actually a really busy time of the year. Holidays is a very expensive time to run ads. So I feel like I actually got a very good bargain for my Facebook ads during this time. And $1.59 cost per click in a B2B market, I think is pretty healthy. So let's talk about the advantages of Pinterest ads. I love Pinterest ads, obviously. I've been doing Pinterest marketing solely as my only thing that I do for 7 years. So obviously I have some bias here when I say that I love Pinterest ads, but I also really enjoyed the Facebook ads that I ran. So I have to say, the results that we got for that were, I think, really affordable. But one of the advantages of Pinterest ads is actually one of the disadvantages of Facebook ads that I mentioned, and it's the longevity of the ad. You can upload a Pinterest ad, whether you upload it into just to be an ad or you upload it into an organic Pinterest pin and then you promote it. Either way, you're gonna get some organic goodness. Best practice here is to upload it organically and then promote it. The longevity of that pin is so freaking good. So when you run ads on Pinterest, you turn them off, any organic versions of that pin that were saved will remain on the platform, and you can then go on and actually have earned metrics, earned conversions from the organic version of that ad. So it's definitely a big advantage of Pinterest when running ads. If you are looking for longevity, if you are looking for savability, people finding this in the long run, then Pinterest is definitely going to be a platform for you. Advantage number 2 is that pinners are planners. They are literally plotting their entire lives all the time. From weddings and food and your daily birthday parties and things like that, all the way to big home renovations, to shed builds like what I'm sitting in right now, the new office that I built for myself in December. People are planning on Pinterest. They use this platform to plan their entire life. And with that being said, the way that they go about using Pinterest with this planning aspect in mind puts them more in a place of purchase. So Facebook users are very impulse driven. They see an ad, they see a product, they buy it. Pinterest users are there looking, planning, thinking through, doing comparisons, doing consideration between products, which puts them more in a purchase intent frame of mind than your Facebook audience. Advantage number 3, which I think is probably a struggle for a lot of people, is the fact that Pinterest is very heavily visual oriented. It's visually driven. Our ads on Pinterest are images. Your ads on Facebook can also be images, but there's less emphasis on the image and more emphasis on the long form copy on Facebook versus on Pinterest, where you get an image and a header and that's it. What I consider or call a header is your pin title. So it's very image driven or video driven, which means that you need to have a really strong graphic design skill in order to achieve a great result on Pinterest. Advantage number 4 on Pinterest is the targeting that you get to choose. It's very much not the same as Facebook. You get interest targeting, you get keyword targeting, you could do broad targeting if you wanted to. And then obviously there's all sorts of audience lists that you can upload. Again, if you want to know all the targeting options for Pinterest, make sure you visit that link in the description for that video or blog post. However, just the simple fact that you have really direct interest and keyword-based targeting on Pinterest, you can really go after that person that's searching for mid-century modern leather couches, and you can sell them that couch, or you can sell them the pillows that go on it. Makes this platform a little less mysterious to me, honestly, because you can go directly for what people are looking for. And with there being 24 active level 1 categories on Pinterest to use in your interest targeting, I think that actually opens up so many more options than you even know of at this point. Another advantage to Pinterest as an ad platform is the fact that you don't need to be a copywriter in order to create ads for the platform. Now, that was a disadvantage for Facebook ads. It's an advantage for me for Pinterest ads. It could be a disadvantage for you on Pinterest too. If you are a copywriter though, and you can hire a good graphic designer, then chances are you can make some really good copy for your Pinterest pins. So it's an advantage for me because I don't have to copyright anything, but keep that in mind when you do create your Pinterest ads. And last but certainly not least is the sheer simplicity of the Pinterest ads dashboard. Now, this is actually a big complaint that a lot of people give me when I am talking about Pinterest ads, or they come to me and they say they're struggling with their ads. They don't know how to use the dashboard. They're confused by all the things in there. And that probably tells me they've never ran Pinterest, or they've never ran Facebook ads before. So I actually love the simplicity of the Pinterest ads dashboard and the ads manager. It, to me, is like the difference between an Android phone and an Apple phone. Android phones or Windows computers have so many options. It's easy to break things or screw something up. Whereas the Apple ecosystem is very simple, it's very straightforward, it's user-friendly. If you start with Pinterest, you can work your way into Facebook Ads Manager and be fine. It'll take a lot of learning, but that is an advantage to me, is how simplistic it is. Now, I have a couple of bonuses, and one of them I actually briefly touched on, which is if you run a Pinterest ad and someone saves it, there is a lot of longevity to that image being saved to the platform, and people can actually come back to that later and purchase or sign up for your thing. So that's definitely a big bonus. The second big bonus is that Pinterest as a platform is there to be a traffic driver. It was created to direct traffic to your websites when you create Pinterest pins. Facebook wants to keep you on the platform as long as possible. So therefore, they don't want you driving people off the platform. That's why they created on-platform lead generation forms, so people can sign up for your email list and never leave the platform and you still get the email address. Pinterest, however, is very much a long-term traffic driver, which again is why if you create an ad, someone saves it, they can come back to it for years. So I definitely think that is a big bonus, is the fact that it is a long-term traffic driver. I have pins that I have promoted, I have pins that I've pinned organically that still get me traffic years and years later. So obviously with Pinterest, there are disadvantages too. So one of those is the lack of targeting options. If you are used to running Facebook ads, you're going to probably be a little disappointed when you get into your Pinterest ads dashboard and realize there's only this many ways to target somebody. Yes, and that can be a disadvantage to many. The second disadvantage is obviously the higher reliance on imagery. If you're not a graphic designer or you're not a video creator, chances are this might be a struggle for you when it comes to running Pinterest ads. But have no fear, I can help you. The third disadvantage, which is a big one, is a longer purchase window. It's actually about 18 days on average from the time someone sees your ad to the time they purchase that they actually take action, and some can be much longer than that. So keep that in mind, that there is a much longer Pinterest window. And if you're using an attribution window of 111 or even 777 on Pinterest and you have a lower budget, you're not going to see the results that you want to see. You need a much bigger budget to use a much smaller attribution window. Last, but certainly not least, and probably the biggest disadvantage to Pinterest ads by far, is the fact that Pinterest ads are really hard to track if you're using Google Analytics or a tool like, I don't even know, some of the attribution tools. I can't even remember the name of them right now, but I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about if you're familiar with ads. There are attribution tools where you can load in all of your data and it will tell you where all your sales are coming from, much like Google Analytics, but on steroids. Pinterest is usually not ever reported in those, and here's why. Because Pinterest is a first-click platform. So if someone were to see your ad on Pinterest, click on it, go to your website, view your product, put their phone down because they're sitting at a red light, and then when they get home, they go pick up their iPad and type in heathersboutique.com because they were just on your website. Well, now they make a purchase because the browsing history is connected between the two devices, right? They make a purchase, but they went directly to your website. So Pinterest is going to claim attribution for that sale, but Facebook or direct on your Google Analytics or email or whatever is going to take attribution for that. Wherever the last point of contact happened with that sale is who's going to take attribution for it in Google Analytics. So just keep that in mind when you are running Pinterest ads and you're looking at your Google Analytics and you're asking yourself, Google is telling me I'm getting all of my sales from email. I need to turn off my Pinterest ads. This is a waste of money. Hold up, because chances are Pinterest is actually sending you sales or leads, but because every other tracking method is last click, they are taking the attribution for it, whereas Pinterest actually sent the original click. Okay, I hope I made sense with that. If you have questions on attribution, first click versus last click, let me know and I will detail it further in the comments. Let's talk about some of my most recent Pinterest ads. So last fall, I ran Pinterest ads for longer than I ran Facebook ads. Actually, I ran my Pinterest ads for about 90 days, but in this particular test, for the lead generation, for the same funnel, for the same time frame, I ran them for about 10 weeks instead of 8. So there were a couple more weeks of run up. Because Pinterest ads do take longer to optimize, I wanted them running before my Facebook ads. So I ran them for about 10 weeks. I spent $899.06. My cost per lead was $4.89, but my reported return on ad spend for Pinterest was 1.08. So I actually made a little bit more money than I spent. So my sales paid for my cost. And then I had 184 leads. So one more lead total than Facebook. And my cost per click during this time was $1.04. So it's actually cheaper cost per click than Facebook. So if you're looking at cost per click as a measurement of which platform's better, Pinterest was definitely a cheaper cost per click, higher cost per lead. So keep that in mind. You're always going to have a higher cost per lead in the business to business space versus the business to consumer space. So really quick before we wrap this video up, I did want to talk about some industry averages for my clients on Pinterest for cost per click. For the wedding industry, we see anywhere from a 33 cent to $1.24 cost per click. Organizing was anywhere from 44 cents to $5.34 on a dynamic retargeting. In the family and marriage space, it was 12 to 45 cents on average. In the teacher space, so teachers selling products to other teachers, it was actually the cheapest of all at 4 cents to 14 cents per click. And in the jewelry space, it was anywhere from 29 cents to $1.93 on a dynamic retargeting. So cost per clicks on Pinterest, if you wanted to compare any of that data to your Facebook ads, I definitely think they're very fair if you're looking at click as a measurement of success. So now that you know the advantages and disadvantages, according to me, on Pinterest and Facebook ads, you have a decision to make. Where would you rather spend your money? I definitely would encourage you, if you are in the e-commerce space or if you are thinking about running Facebook ads, to also right alongside that run Pinterest ads, even if you start at a lower budget, like 20 bucks a day, because you can actually recoup some of that loss from one platform to the next. We actually see a huge uptick in e-commerce sellers' sales when we start a dynamic retargeting campaign first on Pinterest after they've been running Facebook or Google or YouTube or LinkedIn or whatever ads. So definitely consider the benefits and disadvantages to both platforms and decide from there what your best ad play is. If you're needing help with your Pinterest ads, you can definitely hire my team. We can definitely help you, even if it's just a setup or a consulting call. We do all of the above. Now, your next place to go from here is to go watch the other Facebook ads video, where I'm talking all about the ads, all about the targeting, the differences in users, and all of that stuff. So head on over here and watch that Pinterest and Facebook ads video, and I will see you next time.